If you could have a drink with anyone in the theater world, who would it be? I'm Anthony Caporale, and I'm running through my list. Each week, I'll sit down with cast members, bartenders, and personalities from New York's theater district and get a behind-the-scenes look at what it's like to live, work, and play on Broadway. Come have a drink with us on Broadway Bartender. Welcome to Broadway Bartender. My name is Anthony Caporale. We are here at New World Stages in the heart of New York's theater district, home to my show, The Imbible, A Spirited History of Drinking. And this week, we are starting out with a drink that our special guest actually called in advance to order. It's her favorite drink, and it is a dirty gin martini. So I'm going to go ahead and start, as you've seen me do many times, by filling my mixing tin about halfway with ice, and I believe Hendrick's is her gin of choice. So I'm making 3 drinks because she's bringing a friend with her. I'm doing 2 ounces of gin per drink, so that's going to be 6 ounces in the tin. And then I like about a ½ ounce of dry vermouth for every 2 ounces of gin. And a lot of people don't put vermouth in their dirty martinis. I'm always a fan of adding vermouth to martinis. And what makes it dirty, obviously, is the olive brine. And I'm doing about another ½ ounce per drink of olive brine. And this is somewhere between dirty and filthy. So we'll just call it, I don't know, smeared or something. And then we're going to shake it up really good. I really want to make sure that this drink is chilled and also diluted, because there's no mixer in this drink other than the olive brine. So the ice melt, that water, is what's going to dilute the gin and take the burn out. So if you've ever had a martini that tastes hot, that's difficult or unpleasant to drink, it's because it hasn't been shaken or stirred enough. But once I have this tin frosted, I know it's at the right temperature, and I know that it's been diluted properly, and I will go ahead and strain this into my 3 martini glasses. And in a properly shaken drink, you should always see some ice chips at the top and a little bit of foam, a little bit of bubbles. And martini glasses should never be filled all the way. So this is the proper level for filling martini glasses. And then we're going to garnish them, of course, with some cocktail olives. And I went ahead and got jalapeno stuffed cocktail olives, because why be normal? And this is, I believe, the favorite drink of our special guest this week, Alexa Green. Welcome to Broadway Bartender, award-winning recording artist Alexa Green. And you have a friend with you, correct?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Rich Martino, and he's not just a friend, he's also your manager, right?
He is. Yeah.
Fabulous. Well, tell me how I did, because did I get this right? Is this your drink?
My favorite.
All right, good. So first of all, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
And let's see how we did.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Yeah, delish. Love
Okay.
it. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it?
Yeah.
Good?
Love it.
Perfect.
Fabulous. Okay.
Good stuff.
So, Rich, you are Alexa's manager, Whole
I am.
Artist Management,
Whole
I
Artist
believe?
Management, yep.
Great. How long have you guys been working together?
We've been working together. We were just talking about it before, about 4 years together.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
now you have quite the storied past. The reason we're excited, we're excited to talk about you, to talk with you today for many reasons, but you have an album out.
I do.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
which we're going to talk about before. But before the album, you did a lot of theater work as well.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've done.
So I went to college for musical theater.
Okay,
I
where?
went to
I always like to find out.
Cincinnati.
Oh man, we get a lot of you guys. You have such an amazing program.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We're everywhere, and it's the greatest program ever. So.
Well, that would explain why you're everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went there for musical theater, and like 5 months after I graduated, I did the LA Company of Wicked.
5 months after you graduated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And what role?
I was the Glinda Understudy in the
Really?
Los Angeles production. Yes.
Oh my good
Yeah.
get. 5 months out of
It
college.
was incredible because I understudied Megan Hilty, and Eden Espinosa was our alphabet. So it was like an all-star cast. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right out of school.
Were you just like starstruck?
Yes. I was, right off the bus. Like, flew to LA, left everything here, and had an apartment and a car, and went to rehearsal and learned the show, and there I was.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks, yeah.
Now, were you representing her, or had you not
not.
discovered her yet?
Before
I have not
Rich.
discovered her yet.
Okay.
Before Rich.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long did you stay with Wicked?
So I did the show through the whole run, the closing of LA, and then the whole San Francisco run. We were sit down there in San Fran.
And it was the same company, or did they transfer?
Same company, yeah. We transferred from LA up to San Fran.
Tell me about the theater scene in LA, because it fascinates me. I know very little about it. It's robust, but different from New York, yes?
Totally different, yeah. And unfortunately, I didn't get to really experience that much of it because I wasn't there that long and I was learning the show and I was so crazy busy. But now I actually know more about it, and I sort of have an interest in possibly going there because there is a small community of us that do a lot of theater. And I saw a play there last year when I was there, and it's like kind of thriving. People love it.
It's interesting because I know a lot of people who are actors and performers, they tend to categorize New York and LA as
totally.
New York is theater,
Totally.
LA is film, television, depends on what you're doing, can be both. But there's a lot of, well, there's obviously a lot of film in New York, but there's also a lot of theater in LA and San Francisco as well, right? Are you thinking about going to LA to pursue, to stay involved in theater, or are you looking to make the jump to film?
I mean, I would say it's just an idea at this point, but it's something, I sort of want to be in both places, to be honest. I just love the idea.
Isn't that the dream?
Yes, because you know there's a great music scene, and I'm sort of getting into that. So I just love the idea of being on the beach and then doing what I love. It's the best of both worlds.
Flip though, right?
What?
Yeah, totally.
Right,
Yeah, totally.
Was being involved in theater, when being involved in theater in LA, did you feel like everyone else was involved in film and you were like the theater people, or is there, you know, was there enough crossover between the two that you didn't kind of feel?
Crossover. And actually, I was able to get representation out there too while I was there. So I got to do a little bit of everything. And everyone's an actor in LA, so you're just an actor. Like, when you're there, nobody asked, you know, actually people were like, oh my God, you're in Wicked when they met you. So that, it actually was a bonus, I felt.
Right, well, I mean, you're working with Megan Hilty, for goodness sakes, right?
Totally. So, but even just like, oh, you're a singer, it was like an added bonus when I went on an audition or something.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
So what brought you back to New York?
We closed, the company closed. And I had just graduated, so I hadn't been in New York. I'm from here, so I grew up here. But I hadn't auditioned, I hadn't experienced really the day-to-day life, so I was like, I want to come home, plus my family's here.
Right, and is that how you hooked up with
Yes, so
Rich's management company?
At that point, I had worked with the same agents for a while, and then I was looking for new representation, and I wanted someone to help me really manage my career because I do a lot of different things and I have a lot of interests. So I wanted somebody to help me like hone it all together, and I got recommended to Rich by our friend Brian, and I met with him, and that was it. We kind of clicked.
The rest is history.
So Rich, I love that we get a talent manager on the show because we're always we're always talking to artists, and one of the things that I always try and cover with our guests is, how did you achieve success, and what worked for you, what didn't work for you. Tell me, as a manager, I mean, what is it about, and this may be embarrassing for you, but someone like Alexa, I mean, that allows her to, work consistently. What is it that you're looking for?
It's basically what you just said. It's work consistently, but behind the scenes. So she does the work. She's the one in the recording studio until 4 o'clock in the morning because it's just not quite right. Like if you think about LA and you think about New York and you think about all the people that come through anywhere in these entertainment capitals, everybody wants the job, and everybody is just that much hungrier than the next. So in order to really, really succeed, you have to be the one that works the hardest and books the job, ultimately.
I love that you said that because, in Broadway Theater Studio, which is my production company, we work with a lot of up-and-coming actors. And the first thing everyone wants when they graduate college is they want an agent, they want representation. Yeah. And at least what I've always told them is that that's not always the right step for everyone at that point in their career. It seems to me like agents especially are looking for people, there seems to be this misperception that if I'm a talent and I get an agent, they're going to get me a bunch of jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
When in reality,
it is always collaborative.
Yeah, and you need the actor to be working really hard, right?
That's what we do.
And to have some degree of success under their belt, right?
And to make your own opportunities. I constantly have ideas, and I call him and I'm like, what do you think about this? How do you feel about this song? Should I do this show? What do you think about this? So it's kind of, really helps to have somebody in your corner. Not just, hey, you have an audition on Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Book it or you're dropped.
Right. Which is really scary. Actors, it's scary. It's scary.
I know.
So
but
to have that dialogue and that communication is, I'm so thankful because, you know, this is the first time I feel really, truly supported. It's really great.
Wow, well, kudos to you, sir.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So
Wham is the best.
can you explain the difference in your mind between an agent and a manager? I know some people have both, some people have just one.
So an agent's real function is to book you work. They are essentially an employment agent. They're certainly artistic, and they certainly have their pluses and minuses in that world, but their goal is to get you the job.
Right.
And it's a numbers thing. Like, they want to make money, they want you to make money. And whereas I think a manager's, at least in my office, our goal is very holistic. So it's more like the journey from start to finish is like job, Emmy Award, Tony Award, Oscar,
Right.
It's like from zero to Meryl Streep, if you will, you know?
Well, from zero to
Meryl
Streep.
Streep, copyright.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
TM,
Yeah.
whole artist management. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
Totally. But we work with a ton of agents, and it's when the need to have both is necessary and the relationship works, it is like spot on. But to your point, you said about kids coming out of school that are meeting with agents and managers and want to sign with both because they think that that's the thing to do. I just feel like you really need to sort of build the career to the point that you want it to be before you need to have that many people working for you, you know?
That is golden advice, and I really wish that more people out of school would follow that path, because I mean, it's you're making your livelihood, as are the agents, out of these actors.
Totally.
Exactly.
And you know, it just makes sense that the people who are willing to kind of just cast a big net and wait for people to get work might not be quite as invested as the people who are, you know, working with people that are consistently working, right? So when you, as a manager, is part of your role also to book jobs, or do you always go through an agent to get folks like Alexa work?
Don't have an agent, we can certainly function in that capacity. I mean, it's the same thing, but again, it's not quite so, like, some agencies are really large, so they'll have like many girls that could play Glinda, we'll say. Right? So it's like, at that point it becomes like, well, which of these girls are we really going to push for it, and which do we not feel are there right now?
Right.
You know, so in our case, I mean, maybe we have like one or two that'll cross over with each other, if depending on what casting is looking for at that moment. You know, like sometimes they will like have an African American girl play Elphaba. You know, sometimes keep talking about Wicked. I feel like that's all we talk about is Wicked.
I know.
So so in that, totally. So in that case, it's like there'll be crossover there, but minimal.
Because they're your clients also, right? I mean, the casting agents, you have to keep happy.
Totally.
You can't just look at your talent.
Totally.
So that's got to be like a little bit of attention for you, right?
Totally.
Or
that's
amazing.
To make sure they're prepared when they go in too.
Right, because if the casting agent isn't happy, they're not going to book the next person you send, no matter who it is.
Yeah.
So Alexa, you mentioned feeling supported.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It is.
And I think that speaks very much to Rich's point that if I'm understanding this right, the manager it's really almost like the manager. I mean, you're your own business, right? You're a small business.
Yes, you're your brand, you're your own business. And you know, I was told at school, you have to have something to manage to have a manager.
You have to have a business to manage. Right.
Sure, but in the same respect, to like the numbers game before, like if you don't book it, you're dropped. That mentality, like straight out of school, I always find to be, like I encourage kids right out of school to be sort of cautious about that, because if you're gonna go to a massive agency, you become a number. So if you're the kind of person, I would never ever suggest somebody right out of school go for both. It's not necessary at that point. So definitely having something to manage is important. However, if they're looking for something that's more, like I always think about the scene from the last 5 years when Kathy calls her agent, she's like, hey, you got anything for, you know, if you're that kind of person and you want to talk to somebody, you want to be able to see somebody, and it's not just like, sorry, it's like pilot season, it's busy, we've got so many clients, this, that, and the other thing, you might want to err more toward the side of management, because that's really what they're there for. And if we're not necessarily managing a career that is tangible at the moment, we're managing sort of your abilities, your sanity, and your, like, the longevity of your career.
Right. So you, coming out of the tour, had a business, essentially. You knew you had something that people were willing to pay you to do, and so having a manager at that point makes as much sense as having a manager for a retail store or something like that. And that's not always a skill, I think, that artists bring to the table.
Well, I knew I wanted to do a record at some point, and I knew, you know, I have all these singing gigs on the side of my daily acting auditions, and so I wanted to have a way to like bring them all together and have someone that understood that about me, and not just, you know, oh, she's going in for the ensemble of this show and this show and this show. I wanted to be a little bit more specific about myself and not picky at all, you know, be super open to anything that was going to come my way. And try a little bit of everything. And I said to him, you know, I want to try a little TV and film because I don't have a lot of experience there, and I want to see what that's like. And it was really great. You know, I can call him, and I just know he's calm and level-headed. You know, and it actually helps me think clearer.
And actually help make decisions? I mean, you guys working collaboratively to figure out what the best next choice is?
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Wow. So that is that. Again, I can see when you have that business that's actually generating some revenue, and that. Now, is there a point, do you think, though, in some performers' careers where they don't necessarily need either an agent or a manager? They just need to be demonstrating that they can work.
I mean, I think it's all specific to the person, to the actor, to the performer. I mean, if they're not. So if we'll just use an agent for example. If an agent is getting you appointments, and you're going in for the appointments, and you're like down to the final 5 every time you don't book, and you're getting feedback, and you're not implementing the feedback, at that point I would say you don't need somebody to represent you, because if you're not willing to do the work, like I said before, if you're not going to take the feedback with an open mind and not be like, oh, that casting director is blah, you know, or oh, that creative team just doesn't like me. You know, at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to advance you to the next level. You know, it's you have to go through the proper channels.
Do you get that? I mean, do you get clients coming back to you that are like,
sometimes
you know them, they suck.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do. Yeah.
It's so personal.
Yeah.
What we do, you know, and you're vulnerable as an actor.
If you think about you're totally, like you go into a room, you basically are like, hey, this is what I wore today, do you like me?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it comes down to. And if you get told no so many times. And
you get in your head, you know, and then you take things personal, so you just have to make your own opportunities and be totally yourself, 100% your authentic self, as best that you can. You know, people say that. But.
So tell me how you decided, it sounds like collaboratively, that the album was the right next step. How'd you put all that together? I mean, that's like a lot of people's, that's a dream for most people.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do it, but I wasn't ready. And I feel that way a lot. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not quite ready to do this, but I know it's gonna happen. I think going with your gut is a good thing. And I, you know, have almost been out of college now for 10 years. Not to date myself, but
well, you look fabulous.
I knew, thank you, but I knew that it was the right time to do my record because I wanted to have a calling card to take with me. I wanted to be looked at and seen, you know, as a legitimate singer, somebody that, you know, whether I created it for myself or not, you know, had a team or not, I wanted to have something real to hold and to call my own that I made 100% myself.
Right.
So I had one of my best friends from college. He knows me, you know, through thick and thin, inside and out, and he kind of, we always had this idea when we were in college to do it. So we just made it happen. We did a show at 54 Below.
Oh, I love that. It's a great venue.
Yeah, to start the whole process. And then this was the final project.
Okay, so what was his role?
He produced it.
Okay.
Yeah, so his name is Mitchell Walker and Ryan Cantwell both produced it. And I got introduced to a fabulous musical director, Dylan Gladhorn, who did all of the arrangements. Everything on it is his work. And I used basically all of my best friends that are creative geniuses that need work. We made this whole thing happen.
And as far as the tracks that you picked, is this songbook stuff or?
American Songbook, some new things. A song was written for me by, not for me, but written by Jeff Thompson, Jordan Mann. It's a new song called Summer Fling, and I asked to record it because it's amazing, and they're new musical theater writers.
And that's an original on this?
Yep, so I featured that.
Congratulations, that's amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, it's great. It's
okay,
a dream come true.
You now have something that you can hold that's yours. Congratulations,
Thank
that's
you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
And not only, I mean, it sounds like you met with some actual, like more than just I can hold it, you won an award for this.
Yeah, so I knew I had the idea to have this, you know, on a label. It was always my dream. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be a pop star and a Broadway star. I wanted both. And I was like, how can I make this happen? No big deal. So I shopped it around and I sent it to Broadway Records specifically. And in 20 minutes, they called me back. I sent them the rough tracks and they said, yes, we'll distribute, we'll produce the album.
Wow.
So yeah, they picked it up and, you know, we put it out on Broadway Records. So it got nominated for Best New Solo Recording last year, 2016.
Okay.
And it won.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Yes.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Tell them who you beat.
Wow.
Well, it was nominated against Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth and Barbara Streisand. So, and it won Best New Solo Recording 2016, Broadway World.
Alexa, congratulations. Rich, you can pick them, man.
Yeah,
Thank
really.
you.
Good
She
job.
beat Barbara Streisand.
No big deal. There's a Barbara Streisand song on the record. So,
Wow. Fantastic.
Sorry, Barbara.
Now, so
She
that
would
was
love it.
important
She
to
would
you,
love
though, to be on a label, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are self-producing things like that. I'm sure you
Totally,
have clients that
totally.
are doing that. I definitely want to get you back here and have you make a drink, but I think it would be really interesting to our viewers to hear kind of how you make that decision, because it's much easier than it's ever been before to put together an album completely on your own and
Yes.
distribute.
You know, I'm working towards making my Broadway debut, and I'm working towards a career that spans my whole life. I'm going to grad school at Columbia to teach vocal pedagogy, to study vocal, to get my master's. So I have a lot of interest, and I want to blend them together, like I said. And so I knew that Broadway Records was the right place, because I felt like, how do I put it? It's like one of those things that it adds a bit of street cred.
Yeah.
You know, to be on a label. And you can self-promote, self-promote, self-promote. And it's really hard. You know, social media is like a big deal these days. And like I said about the support, to have Van and Robbie and everybody at Broadway Records really support the record and put their stamp of approval on it, you know, I'm not a Broadway star yet. And it's a dream of mine to make that happen. And so to have this behind it, to have them behind the record and say, yes, you know, she's up there with these legends, and she's on our label, and she's an artist, and she's going to do these concerts with her label mates that are Tony Award winners.
Right.
You know, it
That's
it adds
incredible.
the legitimacy, and it makes the whole thing really a package for me.
Wow, congratulations. That is just an amazing story. So I have to ask you, have you ever tended bar or cocktail wait?
No, I worked at a wine bar.
Okay, that counts, but if you want to be a Broadway star, you really need to tend bar first,
Okay.
is what
I was always
always
like a little nervous
tell
because
everybody.
I'm you know, teeny,
It's
and so
okay.
like reaching the things was difficult for me.
But you have other bartenders and barbacks and step stools and stuff for that.
Yes.
All right,
That's what I'm
so
like, can you get this for me?
let's see if we can go ahead with your permission, if that's a good management decision for you,
Yeah.
if we can launch your bartending career. Does that work?
Let's go.
do
I'm
it.
ready.
All right, great. So why don't you
Ready.
come back here, and I'm going to
Okay.
go sit right over there.
All right.
Oh dear.
And we're going to be using these two bottles here,
Okay.
and I'm going to, because
Oh, I see something I like.
yeah, I want to keep you in the Hendrix mode. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah, stick with the same thing, right?
Yeah, I figured I would be consistent across the board.
Okay.
Right? So consistency of brand is important, I believe.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to do a French 75.
Okay.
Which is often done with brandy, but we're going to use gin is another great way to make this drink. So go ahead in that mixing tin right there. I want you to
one?
fill it about halfway with ice with the ice scoop.
I see the scoop.
Yep, you got it.
Halfway.
Yep. And we're going to do about 1 ounce of gin per drink.
Okay.
So that's going to be 3 ounces because you're still thirsty, yeah? All right, great.
Oh, yeah.
So I want you to take that gin bottle. I want you to turn it straight up and down and count
Aren't you
to
supposed to
6.
hold it like this way? But you can't with that.
That bottle's hard, yeah.
Yep,
So just hold it
seriously.
any way you can.
Straight
Yeah.
up and down to 6.
Straight up and down and count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect.
A little extra there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's
You're a
good.
pro.
So that's about 3 ounces of gin. So now we need some simple syrup, which is in that glass. Yep.
This one?
And we're going to do about a half ounce per drink, which is 1.5 ounces. So I want you to fill up the big side
Let's see.
and then
Where do
pour
I
it
pour
in.
this over?
You can pour it right over
Right
there.
down.
Yep. So that's 1 ounce.
The whole thing?
Yep. And pour that in, and then flip over
gosh.
to the other side. That's a half ounce.
Oh my
and
God, this
fill
makes
that.
me so nervous.
Yep, so that's 1.5 ounces. And then pour that in. Wow, you're very good at that. Filling it right to the top is very important. Most people don't get that. Good. And now I want to take 3 of those lemon wedges. You can see we have the lemon squeezer right
Yes.
there. Yeah, go ahead and open that.
Okay.
And you're going to put the flat side down.
In here.
In there, flat side down, flip it over.
Oh, right.
Yep, it's everything's
Cooking
reversed.
is not my
and
favorite
That's
thing.
okay.
I'm
You're
learning. My
Great.
boyfriend would kill me. Okay.
And squeeze that right over the top
This
there.
way.
Yep. And that does most of the
I
work
want one
for
of
you.
these for my house.
Isn't that great? I know. It's quite a contraption.
Is that it or
That's
more?
it. No,
Okay.
that's it. And then dump that out, and you're going to do that 2 more times.
Is there a trash?
Right on the left, there's a trash.
I see.
She's going to have
Good.
the neatest bar in town.
Flat side.
which-
This way? Oh, yes.
Same thing. Yeah, and I always
Neat.
tell that to
Absolutely.
my wife. The most important thing is
Yeah.
to work neat because it means you're working clean and that's safe.
And in your life.
Yes, good. And then dump that 1 more. And that last one you're not going to throw out. You're going to put right into
Ooh,
the
and this
drink.
is a pretty good one. I like this
Yeah.
one.
Wow, you're getting some good juice out of there. Love it.
Yes. fresh.
Good. Now just dump that right in there.
Put it here. Don't
right
touch
in
it.
there. Yeah,
Probably
no, you
shouldn't touch it.
It's got citrus.
Okay,
it's
okay.
acid. You're good. Fabulous. Good. Take that glass, put it on top of the tin, and pull it to one side, and then you'll feel it lock. Good.
Is that
One
right?
hand on top. That's it.
Okay.
One hand on top,
Okay.
one hand on the bottom, and shake it. Yeah, good job.
I'm obsessed with this. I love this.
Singer, dancer, actor, bartender.
Cheers.
Good job, exactly.
Is that it?
Good, yeah. Now you can go ahead and twist that glass off. Oh no, is it stuck? All right, you want to know a neat trick for getting that off?
Yeah.
All right, so you can see when you're looking straight down on it that the glass is actually leaning down, right?
Yeah.
You can see it's leaning down.
Yeah.
So you're going to twist it so it's leaning to the left or the right, which is what I just did for you. All right, now you're going to take your two middle fingers and put them as high up on the tin as you possibly can. Good. Take your two thumbs, put them as high up on the glass as you possibly can. Put the tin in your belly button
Oh my
and
God.
push with your thumbs.
Oh my God, that worked.
Every single time.
What?
You never have to bang it. You never have to hit it.
I'm gonna need like flashcards for this.
Yeah,
This
just
is
turn that
amazing.
over. Whoop. Great. So now I want you to take the strainer,
Yes.
spring side down. Fabulous. And you're going to put this finger on the other side. Nope, take it.
This side.
Nope, take it around the other side. There you go.
This side.
Perfect. Fill these up about halfway.
This makes me so nervous. Okay. Halfway.
Yep. Good.
Are you supposed to like? Normally people go like back and forth, right?
Nah, it doesn't
But then
matter.
I'm gonna
If you're
make a
filling
mess.
it all the way, you could do that to make sure you get the
I
right amount in.
see.
But this is not rocket science. Fabulous. See, now you can go back. Good. And now we're going to top it off with champagne, which is right down in the speedway. I know.
Do I have to turn the glass or anything, or I just pour it?
No, just pour it right in. You're
All
going to
the
take
way?
it almost to the top. You always want a little room for the bubbles. Yeah.
I always make people top off my champs because I get so mad when it's not all the way.
I love it. And because you're coming out of Wicked and Oz and all that good stuff, this would normally have a lemon twist. We're going to use a lime.
And my last name's Green.
And your last name is Green.
My favorite color.
Oh my gosh. Just go
And
ahead and
your
put one of
nails,
those.
too.
In
Yeah,
well,
I love
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Put one of-
Inside?
Yeah, just drop it right in.
Oh, this is the
Fabulous.
prettiest thing ever.
Don't you think?
Yes.
I know, and it's got champagne.
And perfect for summer, I feel.
And it is.
Yeah.
Great. And just throw some cocktail napkins out.
Oh,
And then let's try this French 75.
I love this.
And see
What
how
a
we
treat.
did.
Oh my God, I'm gonna make this at home.
Do you remember how to do it?
Well, now
I
it's on
told
video.
flashcards. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and we're
It's
going to put the
forever.
recipe up.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Folks, check us out, BroadwayBartender.com for recipes and website links. Drink well, drink responsibly. And now we have Alexa Green singing If It's Over from her album So Good.
Y'all ready?
Ready?
Won't you talk to me? This is so out of hand, out of hand. Something's gone wrong with the life that we planned. Won't you look at me? You're avoiding my gaze, and it seems like you've changed in so many ways. It isn't fair, it isn't right, 'cause if it's really gone, then tell me tonight. Tell me if it's over. If it's over, then let me go. Won't you speak to me? I'm just here holding on, and I really don't need
Wow.
Oh.
Man.
Oh.
Nicely done.
Thanks. Was that okay?
Oh, what's that?
Can we do it one more time? Take it from
Just one more time.
if it's over. Thank you.
Thanks for having
Oh my
Thanks for
goodness.
having us.
Yeah.
You're the best time.
Of course.
Thank you.